Well, so we have to take a look at the newspaper. Mama V, good morning. You're welcome.
The way you say you're welcome, like
Yeah.
you know.
I'm
Thank you.
welcoming you on the
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning to you, Roland. Let's do the newspapers. After which I have a personal thank you to render. Yesterday, some police officers helped me out with the situation as a truck driver ran into me. I mean, direct.
Our own Mama V.
It was very hurt. And this
But
this will be.
You're cool.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Still a bit shaken.
You're traumatized.
You know.
These are the things that the white people do better. There would have been a psychologist who would have been here, give you trauma treatment services. Because now you're traumatized. Look how you look. It's serious.
Thank you for the recommendation. Let's do the newspapers. The Daily Graphic newspaper, the Ghanaian Times.
Can we call
the publisher
Dr.
newspaper, the Ghanaian Observer. We've got the Finder. We have the Weekend today as well. Yeah, I listen. I thank God for my life as well.
Happened.
I don't know how I escaped that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's because of God's mercy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, last week my pastor, Pastor Kefas Ado. He is with the Winners Chapel International, the Tema branch, and he preached about mercy.
Yeah.
That every day when we go out onto the street or onto our way and come back home safely, it's because of God's grace and mercy.
Yeah, definitely.
And if we fail to acknowledge that, then it means that we fail to acknowledge that there's an existence of a supreme being out there who keeps us alive each minute of the day. Yeah. And I think that you're a testimony of God's mercy.
I am actually. I told myself that because this was on the Pokwase Road, and around 5 p.m. It's busy. So to think that I didn't run into another person and that would have been fatal, I tell you, because the impact was great. And I felt it. I mean, I felt my head.
Yeah, because you've been talking about it.
Yeah, I have. I haven't gotten over it.
The thing is that the services are not available, so you're trying to control it. But you really need a shrink.
Let's do the newspapers.
This is all because of God's mercy.
Because we're here, I want to say thank you to the Pokwase Police Commander. But there's something that we have to talk about. When things like that happen to you, you tend to be very helpless. Especially because in my case, the truck driver refused, and we're just about 5 minutes away from the police station, and he refused to go to the police station
because he know what's potent there.
Yeah, and then here I was, like I didn't know what to do. For the first time in a long while, I was helpless.
For the first time in a long while in your life, you were not in control. I just went on my phone. I didn't even know who I was calling. We thank God for your life.
Yeah, I do. I thank God for my life.
God bless you.
And then I'll let you know when my car is fixed. Let's do the newspapers. The Daily Graphic newspaper is what we'll start with. Front page of the paper. Capping of District Assemblies Common Fund. It's not constitutional, Supreme Court declares. It's got a picture of the Chief Justice, Sophia Kufu, on the front page of the paper. So it is unconstitutional for the government to cap funds allocated to the District Assembly's Common Fund, according to the Supreme Court. A 7-member panel of the court in a unanimous decision held that the allocation of funds to the District Assemblies was a constitutional provision which did not provide for its capping. And according to the courts, presided over by the Chief Justice herself, the inclusion of the funds allocated to the assemblies as part of the statutory funds, which were capped in adherence to the earmarked funds capping and Realignment Act 2017, violated Article 252, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution. I guess in the coming days we'll talk about the real effects of this decision and the impacts that would have on the ground. But also on the front page of the paper, Prempe Achimota and Wegehe clash at the NSMQ. Well, apologies, Fred, we're not showing them the front page of the paper. But there is another clash. Yesterday was Presec, Pope John, and St. John's in
We also have a big clash of the Titans today.
Yeah, we do.
We have Achimota.
Yeah.
We have Wegehe.
Yes.
We have Prempe College.
Absolutely.
Too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Prempe, yeah, okay. Well, so we'll see how this one goes. All the girls in Ghana are rooting for Wesley Girls because they are the only girls' school in the competition now, and we don't want them to be eliminated here. it will be a tough challenge. So we will bring that to you live here on Your News.
Who couldn't
Please
get admission
don't miss
to
it.
Wiggy here were the ones who were supporting Wiggy.
No. This one, Charlie. Solidarity, yeah? Okay.
Women's rights.
All right, so that's the other quarter-final contest that we've been talking about. Subai Nabazi.
What's a Subai Nimzi?
Okay. All right, take personal safety seriously. IGP advises Ghanaians. DVLA chalks up 3 guitar awards and cocoa beans to attract additional $400 from 2020-2021 season. And in the center spread of the paper, President Carter sought for military housing projects. Health Minister inaugurates Medicine Prize Committee. Back page of the graphic. Cranes determined to soar over lions. Uganda is in action with Senegal today. Uganda, they've had some issues with the bonuses, but it looks like they've been sorted now. Yeah. It just reminded me of my own country. They've negotiated
how to resolve it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it. With
it's
the Daily
that always
Graphic
plagues African teams at tournaments. They wait because that's the time, Charlie. You strike the iron.
I think Morocco is also in action later today, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, or over the weekend? Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, but they are. Okay. All right, let's do the Ghanaian Times newspaper, front page of the Ghanaian Times. Ghana risk terrorist attack, experts caution. We're doing the Ghanaian Times now. Construction of Parliament Chamber, Occupy Ghana CDD rejects idea, but majority leader allays public fears. President Carter sought for military housing project. That story in the graphic, also in the Ghanaian Times. 40 drivers arrested on Tema motorway, fined 23,040 Ghana cedis. And then this is quite tiny, but let me read it out, but it's on the front page. 2 escaped from Ayomsu police cells. 2 accused on remand at Ayomsu police station in the Esunafono municipality of the Ahafo region have absconded from police cells. Center spread of the Ghanaian Times newspaper now. Construction of Parliament Chamber, the full story in the center spread. Occupy Ghana and CDD rejecting that idea. And yesterday, the majority leader addressing the press conference. Well, details of that, I don't know if people are convinced. Yesterday, I did make the case that if they think that would make their conditions better, or make them effective at their job. And somebody also made the arguments, the chamber, you know, it's a complex, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it's a whole,
somebody
it's a
said,
complex, because it has a museum, a cafeteria,
somebody said
a media area, the media lounge.
Somebody said the money, if you don't allow them to use it for what they want to use it for, can you even track it? Do you know what it will be used for eventually? Government sponsors 5 to train in stainless steel welding in Canada, and President Carter sought for military housing project. Back page, Ghana's SDGs performance, mixture of successes and challenges. Develop local seed industry, PFJ reports. A report on the Planting for Food and Jobs program has recommended to government to stop importing certified seeds for planting and focus on developing seeds locally to improve yields.
Yeah.
That's it for the Ghanaian Times. We've got to say good morning to you, Kojo
Yansin. How are you?
What up? What up?
All right, a day for you. Plagued by car problems this morning.
Yeah,
but,
sorry.
Managed to get here.
She got hit yesterday.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm serious. Yeah.
She nearly lost her balance. Not life.
Yeah, that's about as
But
much as
God
we will allow
Yeah.
for you to lose. So what happened? Or have you told the story already? Am I?
No, we'll repeat it for your sake. Don't worry.
Well, I mean,
It's a good.
No,
you see,
I
sometimes
have.
we don't have. Usually, I think a good. We should have a shrink around who can. But please say yourself. Say it again.
Roland thinks
Well,
I
wait.
need a psychologist.
oh my goodness! So somebody ran into you, right?
Somebody ran into me. Yeah,
She's been
somebody
talking
ran
about
into
Were
me.
you stationary or moving?
Oh yeah, police station. Say again?
Were you stationary?
No, I was moving, but you see, I am even surprised. I don't know how, because I don't know. I was moving, and then when it happened, I had stopped.
Well,
I'm
you
not
will.
sure.
Yeah, you end up stopping. I mean, but you don't realize you step on the
So,
brakes.
but I didn't panic so much.
We thank God for your life.
Yeah.
I think
It
there's
doesn't
somebody
make
around who
sense.
doesn't like you. So some witches and wizards.
Oh yeah. It was the first time I really got scared on the road.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm
You're
fine.
good,
I'm
yeah.
well, yeah.
The car
Thanks
is
to the
drivable?
police.
Oh, good.
Yeah, thanks to the police.
The car is drivable and everything.
No, not exactly. We have to get it fixed. Yeah.
But you were able to drive it from home today.
Because I didn't have any choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
would have been
then
late.
you know the sergeant on the case, the person investigating. I think his name is Sergeant Walanyo. He said, when anybody stops you, call me.
Oh. That's
I
nice.
guess because of the state of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, we thank
Yeah.
God. We thank God for mercies, right? Okay, shall we do a few more of these
Please.
papers?
Yeah.
All right, then I've got the Finder, the Statesman. I'll do the Publisher and the Today as well, just for good measure. And the Finder's banner headline this morning. I look strange without my glasses. I just realized the banner headline.
Can you see?
Barely. Yeah.
Potash.
Cocoa, new pricing mechanism launched. Farmers to get $400 per ton. Living income differential. Okay, so $100 million housing project for military takes off. That's a program that the president was in attendance for. Aboard plans for 450-seat chamber. That's Occupy Ghana's call. No firm decision taken on new chamber. That's Parliament's response. Right, the Statesman has this. $100 million military housing project is launched. President cuts sword for work to begin at Teshi Barracks. Court blocks state's move to retrieve funds from Unibank. Interesting. Oting JC outdoors cloth for the year of return. That's nice. That's the tourism minister. Sepp Blatter says former FIFA president takes legal action.
And that will be on the back page.
Yes, Sepp Blatter, former FIFA president, takes legal action over missing watches and moral damage. Although I think there's some poor punctuation here. Sepp Blatter, former FIFA president. That makes it a bit difficult to understand, but I'm sure you get the gist. Sepp Blatter says he's going to take some legal action. I'm used to criticism, according to head coach Chrissy Appiah, and well, yeah, there has been so much of it. He's bound to be used to it by now. Publisher newspaper has this, the new publisher, right? That's how they call the newspaper. And their banner headline, anger over $200 million chamber pot. CDD, Stars, NPP,
Did they actually add the
NDC
pot?
all say no. Yes, it's right here. And of course, did you hear Neil van der Poel on this show yesterday? He was spitting nails. He's so angry, and he actually indicted the leadership of his own party. Said that they had really done them a disservice by not informing them of these things.
Yeah.
Although the time I spent at Parliament yesterday was quite revealing.
Yeah.
I spoke to a few people who pointed me to the reality of the situation. I'll tell you in a moment.
As in the reality of the existing chamber.
Well, no, the chamber, the existing chamber is the existing chamber. But the reality of the reason why members of Parliament didn't know about this thing until they heard it in the media.
Okay, well, leadership knew.
Yeah.
Leadership of both sides.
Well, you could say leadership knew, but leadership knew something. Not quite what the public got told. I'll tell you in a minute. Dad of 5 hangs to death. $100 million houses for soldiers. Nanado cuts sword. Kumasi mayor wraps British envoy. Oh, really? Okay. Weekend Today newspaper has a great picture of a man and his son in some green African wear. I'm just loving the color, the rich green and gold colors here, and the boy looks so adorable. Just for that alone, buy yourself a copy of the Weekend Today. Mobile phone theft to be over, according to we didn't talk about this yesterday, right? We reported this yesterday, but we didn't quite talk about it.
But I didn't think it was this one. This one says theft. I thought it was fake mobile phone devices.
You see,
This one says theft,
when
right?
you are implementing something to solve no problem, the problem can change from story
Over
to
time.
story.
But I thought iPhone has a feature, and even now all the phones now have features.
Every phone
they have features for you to track
has
them.
a feature to track it. So all you have to do is set it up with your provider, And why is government providing this service?
Stop messing up with the... Is this the NCO or this is the Ministry of
Communication Ministry.
Ah, okay. No.
I should stop it.
Because I know iPhones. Exactly. They started this whole thing.
Oh, do you guys understand this technology? Do you?
Does the
government
technology?
Do you appreciate the problem that they're seeking to solve?
No.
Uh-huh.
Do you?
So wait.
Do you?
So let us understand that first.
But isn't that what we are saying?
I'm just confused because you said theft today. And I am going back to the news from yesterday.
Weekend today.
Exactly. Yes, same thing I'm saying. I'm just saying that.
Or maybe they plan for this
confusing
technology to solve both problems.
So let us understand it properly.
But even if it is to solve both problems, why is government taking it upon itself to solve these problems?
Because it is government for the people.
Really?
By the people, for the people.
But so first of all, the
problem is the government's problem.
Tracking phones for theft purposes, it already exists. Whichever phone you buy, whichever provider.
If you have a yam, can you track?
So they are going to track.
So maybe
yams.
the device will track the yam.
They are going to set up technology to track yams.
I don't know.
Wembley to construct AstroTurf for UPSA.
Hey,
that's
a
on
good
the front
one.
page. Yeah.
That's Robert Coleman's
Robert
company.
Coleman, yeah. Okay, that's me. I'm done. Do we have more?
Let me quickly just do the Herald. We have on the front page of the Herald, government's lie on $200 million US dollar new parliament collapses. Okay.
The lie collapses is what they are saying. Right?
I think they wanted parliament chamber.
Lie.
The omitter chamber. Speaker's letter exposes president, finance minister, chief of staff, and Nana Santibedi-Etuo's involvement. Yaoba Hurt Minerals Income Investment Fund and Aegis Witness caught a $97.9 million scandal at Cocoa Board. And coming up, government promotes judges sitting on politically charged cases. Men's Gold workers jubilate over NAM1's victory. There's all these reports in the press. And, okay. We have the Daily Guide. The Daily Guide has the story. I was not tortured. Journalist. NAM1 grabs $39 million in Dubai. Daily Guide. And then we have BFEM, impartial, Kufuor to EC. And we have $100 million housing facility project for military. All right, I think I'm done. I'm done.
All right.
The last newspaper from me, the Ghanaian Observer, front page. Mahama exposes NDC over new MP's chamber. President Kufuor lauds Petroleum Commission over AOGC program. Disputed Dintra Palace was built for Dintra Mine. Witness tells Cape Coast High Court, and court okays dismissal of University of Education Winneba lecturer.
Okay. So yesterday, this is what I discovered while I was hovering about the corridors of parliamentary power,
the old chamber.
if there is any.
Still the chamber.
So this this whole thing is a bit of a situation of somebody dropping a problem into the laps of unsuspecting individuals, according to the sources I spoke to anyway. So it appears that the Speaker has had for a very long time a plan to, as part of his legacy, find a way to fund a new chamber, because it is a need that has been identified, you know, a very long time ago. Former President Mahama talked about it, Vice President Baumia talked about it. So it is a need that has been identified, except that it hasn't been prioritized because it would cost a lot of money, which well, at all the times that the discussion has come up, we didn't have that amount of money. But the Speaker has been bent on finding some funding for this, and has been working on that. Now, sometimes, you know, if you have a project that doesn't, what's the word? Sometimes you have to sort of start an action so that the momentum can build and things will happen. So the Speaker, in a bid to do that, you know, went through or oversaw the processes that resulted in the creation of the model, the design and the model and all of that. And he thought, you know what, this is the time to now bring in, the public, so that the fact that such a project is viable and has even been planned will be known, and that hopefully will attract investment. By the way, the Speaker has a lot of experience in finding investment. I know that he was instrumental in getting investment for the redoing of the Jubilee House. Yeah. So, yeah, that was the plan. Unfortunately, communication was not as good as the intention. So there was this rather funny situation where there was a launch of the plans, and parliamentary leadership attended without even realizing that, well, this thing that we've discussed at the board level, this is where it is now. Okay, so it's been discussed. The board is aware that such a thing is going on, that plans, they invited companies to provide plans. They knew all of that. But the fact that this was now to be told to the public was not something that particularly the leaders of the majority and minority were fully aware of until it happened. So this is the reason why members of parliament, who the majority and minority leaders ordinarily would have reported such a thing to, were in the dark. This is why.
But
Okay.
At that event, we had the minority leader and the majority leader making statement on it. And even thereafter, we've had the majority leader again and the minority go on and defend it in the media. So
Yes.
if
Well,
it was something they were
thereafter,
caught unaware, or perhaps didn't have any clue as to when they were going to communicate, or the speaker was going to communicate that to the public at a public event,
Yeah.
that's very surprising that the way they pushed it afterwards.
Yes, that is a cause for discussion, something that we ought to ask questions about.
Isn't it because of the way things have turned out? I mean, there's a lot of backlash,
Possibly,
negativity. Now the NDC's General Secretary Johnson Asiedu Nketia is asking that Haruna Idrisu, what's the word? Because he supported it. So take back your support.
Yeah, you see
that's the party's position.
You see, yeah, and I'm saying this perhaps is the point of the discussion from here on. Why come out in support of it? I suppose this is where something being dropped into your hands comes in. Because they are aware of the project. They've discussed it at Parliamentary Service Board meetings. They are aware such a project is in the planning stages. It's not yet the time to go and inform people that, hey, we are going to build a new chamber, because it's planning stages. But the fact that it was given a public face was what took them unawares.
So my question, what difference does that make?
Well, it doesn't make a difference in terms of whether this is something we should be doing or not. People's sentiments are people's sentiments. And, I personally, I don't mind telling you what I personally think about it. I think it's a complete misplacement of priorities. I think the problems that they are trying to solve, there are ways of solving those problems without spending $200 million. If people are sitting behind columns and so the speaker can't see them, set up cameras so that the speaker can have monitors in front of him and can see everybody. I'm even told that already exists. If you feel you are sitting too close to the minority leader, and so you are worried that if something kicks off, there will be a fight, then don't let anything kick off. Be an adult and don't cause arguments so that you don't have to fight with the person who is sitting too close to you. You can change the furniture so that you have more space and can accommodate more people. All of these things are options that will not cost $200 million. So yeah, my personal view is that it's a misplaced priority. But what I'm saying is that it is something that is in the offing. It's a plan that these leaders knew about. So when the debate came up,
So they should stand by it.
but that's what they are doing, isn't it?
Yeah, but yesterday we didn't see Haruna with the Osechi Mensah.
Apparently he's not very well.
Oh, okay. Because the information was that it was going to be a joint press.
But why didn't they
briefing.
communicate to the press that he was not well? I think it was just an easy thing to say that, look, Haruna was supposed
Listen,
to come. Listen,
this is my view, and I stated it here yesterday. If they believe they need a new chamber, go for it.
What are you talking about?
But you said it's an offing.
Yeah.
So if you want
if people disagree,
No,
I say if they believe they need a new chamber, because I tell you what, I kind of agree with the maybe one dissenting opinion that said, you know what, this money now, do you think you can even track it and see what it will be used for eventually?
Which money are you talking about? The money doesn't exist.
Yeah, but whatever.
It doesn't exist. Nobody has budgeted money for
that day.
So, nobody has budgeted money for a chamber. Nobody has raised money for a chamber.
How would an
there is
architect,
no money.
How would an architect
go missing?
How would an architect come up with designs, especially when we've been told that this was competitive bidding, people came in and blah blah blah. It looks like they've gone far with this.
To get a design,
with the
architect designs are not. They don't cost a fortune.
I think they've come far with this project. And I want to hear them
they have come as far as
make a good case for it.
They don't cost a fortune.
And then, you know, the thing is that if this had not come out in the public the way that it has, with everybody talking about it, with those MPs who are against it now, would they have been against it?
But if they don't know about it, how can they be against it?
But I thought they knew, but they didn't know that it was going to blow up in the public the way it has. Are you talking about the leaders or the MPs? The leaders knew about it. They are members of the board. The MPs didn't have a clue that this was all happening. Okay, so who has an issue now?
The MPs have an issue. They don't
their
understand.
Leadership.
Yes, they don't understand why leadership didn't tell them that. Things had gone that far.
And if the leadership had told them, they would have vehemently refused.
So I'm saying that if the leaders had told them, and this had not become like a public issue, would they have disagreed with the fact that?
Would they have disagreed?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know that we don't have the answers.
Because there's public.
But I'm saying that.
I mean, I don't know who you would ask that question.
The public members that you represent are causing problems for you out there. So there's no way any sane member of parliament will go out there and say that I support it.
So the answer is they wouldn't have supported it anyway.
They would have.
I disagree.
If not for public backlash, they would have supported.
But the public backlash would have come, would it not?
We never know.
Oh, maybe.
If they were supporting, we would never know.
So if this had not come, all you are saying is if this had not come out, we don't know what the public would have done. We don't know what the MPs would have done.
No,
but of course,
no.
We
I'm saying.
But MPs support things, and then later on, public would say what they want to say, but the MPs would have made their positions known. I'm just saying that it would have been interesting to know what the MPs
would have
think about this before the public.
If they knew before the public.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Let's say their leaders knew, Parliamentary Service Board their leaders representing them, informing them before the public got to know. What would have been their position that if they were agreeing the first time their leaders told them prior to the dissenting public?
Yeah,
that's something that we'll never know. But that's
something we'll never know.
The import of what I learned yesterday, it only goes to explain why the MPs are saying that we didn't know anything about this. And it appears that the majority and minority leaders had not informed their caucuses about this. This is the explanation for why that communication had not happened. That is all.
Okay, we'll do myjoyonline.com. But there's one thing that I know. When both sides agree to something, they push for it.
Well, this time looks like...
oh, no. I mean, like, the backlash is so much. You won't stick your neck out, especially when your party steps in. And yeah, I understand the president is very worried about this situation.
So are Ghanaians realizing now that it's not only every 4 years that you have power to change what your leaders are doing? It's not only every 4 years that you can exhibit your power as a people, as an electorate. It's not every 4 years only. You can do this at any time just by expressing enough outreach, just by getting angry enough. Leaders will respond to you. Oh, by the way, just a quick thing. Oh, okay, sorry. I was just going to mention quickly, you know, there's a letter now that was written by the Speaker, sent to the President, inviting him. Yeah. Yes, and this kind of is being put against what the Minister for Information said, that the executive had no knowledge of this plan or had not been engaged on this plan.
I think also what he added was that it's not come before cabinet for discussion.
Perhaps that's what he meant, yeah.
Let's do myjoyonline.com. Okay. Parliament's urge to pass occupational health hazard bill. He's 100. She's about to turn 103, and I read the story, and they just got married. They've been married 2 times already.
To each other or to other people?
No, to other people.
Okay.
And then they found each other. They said they were just going for the documentation, and then they were told that you could actually
veteran and the lady, or not this one.
I don't know the history of the man. I just know their story, their love story. They went to pick the documentation. They were told, you could actually get married like right now, right here. And they said, okay, let's do it. Yeah.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
But they've known each other for like a year. 100 and 103. Lovely.
Doesn't happen in Ghana often. We'll tell you 21 days.
Intercepted letter shows Parliament notified Presidency about new chamber. Well, that's just what we're talking about just before my jaw online. Okay, Supreme Court rules against government's capping of Assemblies Common Fund. Modern Ghana journalist, Piece FM editor charged with thefts. Adisco survives Kumaka scare to secure semi-final spot. Wendy Shea's photo with Kufuor gets many talking. AFCON 2019 joys sports top 5 players after group stage. You've got to click on that and learn more about it. And then group to storm Parliament today over new chamber projects. What we've been told is that there's a group picketing in Parliament, and they've asked that if you're coming to join them, make sure you're decently dressed. So that's what's happening, and because of the chamber.
But that picture that we keep using on myjoyonline.com, is that a 3D impression of what we are seeing in the other one?
I beg, click on the story. Yeah, and learn more. Okay.
Yeah, we have to do sports next, and we know that Asari Bediakon will give us the latest on what will be taking place in Egypt. We're starting the next round of the matches before we get into the quarters, and it will be right here. Stay with us.